Good morning to all my friends at the First Congregational Church of Pelham. I'm Gordon Rankin, your conference minister, and I have been invited to share a little bit with you about the work that we do in the area of immigrant and refugee ministries. First of all, let me apologize. I can't do this in person. I am off with your sister churches today in Peterborough and Marlborough, but I'm delighted to be able to share a few moments with you this way. Some of you may know that 2 weeks ago I was in Washington, D.C. with 21 of my other conference minister colleagues, and we were there having conversations with some of our legislators around immigration issues. This included my visiting our own Senator Sheehan and Representative Custer, along with visiting some of the other senators and legislators from around New England. While I was there, what I really did was tell our stories, the stories of how immigrant and refugee ministries affect us in New Hampshire. I did so. First, I talked about the latest of our New Hampshire resolutions passed at our annual meeting in 2017, which was a resolution that not only spoke about immigration issues in the broadest form, but specifically spoke to one community, the Maranatha Indonesian United Church of Christ in Madbury, Connecticut. This is a church that is primarily an immigrant community from Indonesia, as you might expect. And in 2017, when we passed this resolution, they had over 50 of their members having significant potential of deportation. And so we passed this resolution in part in support of them. I'm pleased to let you know that through the process, none of those folks were actually deported, but we created some very important ministries out of that. Including ministries of accompaniment. When folks would go to the courthouse in Manchester, we would have people that would accompany them, to be with them, to support them, also offer translation and language pieces. This has grown to something we now do with our partners in the New Hampshire Council of Churches, where we actually have vigils at that courthouse the 2 Tuesdays a month as part of a witness to our accompaniment of immigrants who are going to have cases at the courthouse. The other piece I spoke to was actually the work of our immigration and refugee ministry mission group that we have in the conference. Our UCC mission group, together with our partners from the Friends Quakers, we have been involved in doing visits to the Stafford County Jail, which is the Northern New England ICE detention center. They generally go and visit every Monday. And out of this, we have been involved in helping to bond people who have good asylum cases out of jail, helping to provide them housing, which our churches are involved in. Our churches are also involved in providing support groups. All of those things make stronger cases that we can have people leave the detention centers and actively engage in the community while they're waiting for their asylum cases to come up. Obviously, engaging in the community also helps their asylum cases. We have bonded 17, and I think now it might actually be 18 because we've been working on one in the last couple of weeks. Folks from there, 3 of those cases have actually resulted in asylum. The other are ongoing, but we're actively engaged in that work. And part of what I would then share when I was in Washington, D.C. is we have seen how these community-based efforts are actually a good alternative to detention and encourage that type of approach to working with our immigrants. If you all are interested in continuing to learn more about this, I would encourage you at some point when you need pulpit supply coverage, our immigration and refugee mission group love to send speakers to offer a sermon on a Sunday. I'm sure they would fulfill that for you very eagerly. And of course, there's also ways to be individually a part of it. We would always accept donations to that bonding fund that allows us to bond out immigrants. Many ways in which you can be actively involved in this ministry yourself. And if you'd like to know more, please just let me know and we will try to provide you with as much information as possible. Have a wonderful Sunday morning.